Hey everyone, and welcome to Lost Resort with me, TOKiMONSTA. This is a live weekly streaming show coming at you here on Twitch. Today, my guests are Reo Cragun and HWLS. Reo Cragun is an LA-based hip-hop and R&B artist originally from Vancouver, Washington. He's known for his singles Inconsiderate, Lost with Nipsey Hussle, and The Greatest Show on Earth. HWLS is a Grammy-nominated music producer based out of Perth, Australia. HWLS has worked with a wide variety of artists like Denzel Curry, Ty Dolla $ign, and Flume. So, love to have him on.
Yo.
Hey!
Yo. What's up?
It's always like the same thing. It's like you just have this long conversation right before the show actually starts, and then you're like, wait, what do we talk about now? Did we just talk about everything already? And like the orientation always changes, so it's always like, wait, I'm always trying to do that like Brady Bunch thing. So you're on this side, and then HWLS is down there. It's like a weird mirror imaging thing, and it's really hard to like navigate. I guess for everyone watching, tell us, like, Reo, where are you basically streaming in from?
So I'm out in I'm in Indio, California right now. We kind of just packed up and left LA as soon as COVID hit. We were in like a tiny apartment, so we were like, yeah, now's probably a good time to get a big ass house.
Yeah, so that's the move.
Yeah, for sure.
So then, HWLS, where are you at?
I'm in Perth, Australia.
Tell us what time it is.
It is 7 a.m. It's just ticked over, so this is nice and early for me, but it's good. I need to get up earlier and start doing things. So.
What time do you usually wake up, honestly?
Not too much later. Probably like 9 a.m. at the moment, or 10.
Reo, what time do you wake up at?
Oh, geez, it varies so much these days. I just got a puppy, so I'm up pretty dang early because the dog needs a lot of attention for sure. But yeah, I usually like anywhere between 7 and like 9 a.m. That's normal for me.
I feel like a degenerate. I woke up at like 10:30 today, and I probably stayed in bed till like 11 or 11:30 doing like emails. I was just like, wasn't sleeping so good. And yeah, so that's the story of my life, and basically incessant insomnia at this point. It's so hard to sleep nowadays. I remember sleeping used to be so easy back in the days. Now it's like, how does one sleep? How does one close their eyes and actually go somewhere else?
Right.
I don't know.
Seriously.
Everyone's telling me they're just like, you gotta meditate. I'm like, I'm trying to do a lot of things right now, but out of luck.
Seriously. Yeah, I know. I'm in the same boat. Like I'm a night owl, and then I've just recently started waking up super early, so I'll be living on that 4 or 5 hour range every single day of sleep. So
I know.
Yeah.
So you, like, HWLS, Justin, you were saying you moved back to Australia in April? You were in the States for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I was there from the start of the year, and then once everything started getting a little bit like chaotic, when flights and everything were getting shut down, I was like, okay, I think it might be time to go home for a little bit,
I was like,
and then see how this pans out.
Yeah, we were chatting just yesterday actually, and like Justin and I were like, one day everything was fine. We were just having some beers, and then the next he's like, "All right, bro, I'm out."
Yeah.
Like, dang, all right.
It's a weird time right now. I'm just like, did you have extra like check-in luggage? Because you could have actually put us inside one and then taken us with you to Australia. That would have been a really nice thing to do.
Yeah, could have done. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Just like one it's just oversized. You have to go pick it up on the side, like somewhere else away from the carousel, and just like just pop out and be like, "Hey, Aussies." It's tell me how it is in Australia, because we've had a few people on from over there, and it seems like it's pretty. It's things are still happening, but it's kind of mellowing out. The whole like the COVID thing is not quite as severe as maybe it is over here.
No, I mean, in Perth where I am now, it's like 0 community like transmission for like 7 months. So everything's pretty open here now. So venues and everything are back open. It's kind of, but the whole time it's felt pretty normal. But Perth's very far from everything. So
Perth is.
If you want to isolate.
What is it? I have friends in Singapore, and they were telling me this before I actually ever went to Perth, but they're saying that in Singapore they advertise Perth as being a retirement community. Like that's where like you should go to Perth if you want to retire, because it's just like really slow. It's quite like laid back and a bit slower in Perth, right? At least compared to
yeah,
other
definitely.
parts?
It's super casual, but like the weather's nice. There's a lot of really lovely beaches up on the coast, so yeah, people come here because I guess it's nice warm weather and a lot of space.
Right.
But it's getting a bit expensive though.
Oh, interesting. Australia is a whole bunch of space. If I think about it. It's like what was the statistic I had heard? It's like there are more people residing in Great Britain than all of Australia, or something like that.
Wow.
I was like,
because the inhabitable land is like, I feel like most of like the continent is just condensed into what, like 5 main cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Australia's probably as big as America, but we've only got 8 capital cities or something.
It's so
like,
wild.
holy shit.
Yeah.
It's always like context is always interesting, right? Because people just see it on a map. Like we know China's big, but China has like 60 cities as big as New York or like LA. But then we just don't know about any of them. At least I don't personally. But I hear these things that it's like there's so many things going on in these other places that we have no idea about.
Right.
Let's actually listen to this first song. So Reo, you picked this one. So it's Stats by Baby Keem.
Oh,
what's
go.
the vibe on this one? Is this like a current favorite of yours? It came out last year, so it's not super new.
Right. Yeah. No, this is kind of just like a go-to for when I hop in the car or something like that. Like this is one of the go-tos.
A nice little turn up. All right, let's listen to this and we'll chat about it a little bit. I have some like informations.
Fuck you, nigga. If you don't call me back, lose my fucking number.
How many times have I said that to someone? I'm just kidding.
Hold up, hey, smile, ho. Take a picture with me. I drive solo when my gas is on E. Cause if I get pulled over, then there's a problem. Baby King got issues and money can't solve them. Hey, I got a bitch that love to do the extras. I pull a bad bitch whenever I want. Hey, I keep a kickstand, rock band in my trunk. Hey, Baby Keem just humbled a model. Not a fake one, a real one, don't stunt. Instagram pics, that's just a front. Little bitch, you ain't getting no content. Flex up, why my check, body.
Shout out to the chat.
Hoes in my backseat, fuck, I gassed it. Ayy, ballsy, target practice bullseye. Nigga, it's just you and I. Ayy. Die for my bitch. Die. Ayy, yeah. Hold up. Ayy, first things first, when I pop, I'ma get your hoe thirsty. I sign my paycheck in cursive, I'm worthy. Hoes in the VIP, always talking about my fashion. I tell her watch her tone, Baby Keem ain't no virgin. Bitch, I don't have insurance to the wheels because I skirt it. I just lied to your bitch, she want me to insert it. Might roll it, you ain't seen it like I stole it. 10 toes on the deck, I ain't floating. Scary with the clip unloaded. Yeah, parked on the deck, finna scoop up, little scoop it. If you ain't take the L, use a lie, little scoop it. I still got a bitch on the side, little scoop it. Just talked to my little Rocky yesterday, undisputed. Oh, you got my bitch, I did it again, I did. She gon' say my name, if you hit again, I did. She can never find a new me, ain't no one equivalent. And I make her wanna leave him, but I'm only visiting. Ayy, walk up in this bitch, I'm feeling like the black Brad Paisley. Stay 10 toes, cause the ops don't faze me. 2019 and I'm back on your playlist. I was born to get a bag, you niggas complacent. Out with the old, I say in with the new. Ayy, let my old hoes view my snaps, cause I'm cool. Ayy, my mama did it, ayy, cause the sun chose up. Ayy, now I'm spinning racks on a 4x4 truck.
Damn, what a banger. I miss being, so I keep saying on the show that I miss being in the club, but it's not even just like I don't miss being in like a EDM club. I miss being in like a turn up rap club. I miss like all the types of clubs that you can go to. I miss going to like emo night. I miss like all the clubs. Just like
seriously, I've been to emo night like actually once or twice in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I've been there as well.
It's super dope actually.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, they just have like they'll have like random cameos from like I don't know, what is it? Who am I thinking of? Just like random emo guys. Who was it that they had last? Not Tom DeLonge. They had like maybe like Travis Barker or something like that. They always have I was like
like people hosting it or whatever.
Exactly. It's always pretty funny. But yeah, you know, these like colorful things. It's funny how I keep saying that I miss a club, but it's not like I'm like up in it like dancing in the middle. I'm always like in the back listening like this and like holding a drink. But I miss that. I miss being in the back of the club, not participating. I miss all of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like or taking shots with your friends. Someone was saying, what was it? Someone was saying that they miss just the act of buying a drink.
Yeah. I mean,
like the simple
seriously.
things.
Yeah. It's so wild. Like, especially out here because I'm super in the middle of nowhere, I feel like. And it's just, I feel like all last year is kind of just such a blur because it's getting hard to remember what life was like, 9 months ago, dude, because I mean, you have 0 cases, or you said transmission cases over there in Perth, but dude, like over here in the States where I think yesterday was like 144,000 new cases. It's just like, whoa, it's just wild, dude. Super wild.
Man, it's a lot.
I mean, it's interesting too because when you talk to other places, to people in other places where it's very much in control, like under control, the chaos that surrounds that is also like no one's stressing about it. They just see other people stressing about it, and it'd be nice for us to not have that issue. But as far as Australia, they're still doing all like the New Year's festivals and things like that. They're all happening.
Yeah, like slowly coming through. I think Eastern states, hopefully by the end of the year they'll have a little bit more. But like I got to play a festival here in December. I think it's like 8,000 people.
Ooh.
But
man,
I
got
it's in a
FOMO.
big open space. You need to have still, a good amount of space for that many people.
Right.
Everyone's got to be spread out somehow.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know, the last time I've seen that many people, maybe on Zoom or something. Just like everyone, but not next to each other. Or like, at these sporting games, they've been doing cutouts of people or like digital cutouts of people and things like that. It's this alternate reality that we're all in and we never thought we'd ever be in. But I think, if we ever get past this in a very healthy way, we'll be able to look back and say, hey, this entire world went through this one crazy thing together in modern times, So with this song, we listened to Stats by Baby Keem. So this came out in 2019, and basically this is the blurb I have. Stats finds Las Vegas rapper and producer Baby Keem introducing Die For My Bitch by energetically boasting about his success as a rookie in the rap game. The young Las Vegas rapper uses 2 self-produced instrumentals to elaborate on the topics such as fame, money, and relationships. So let's talk about like what it is to be a rapper, because I feel like obviously when you're in music, someone knows a rapper. You don't even have to be in music. You still know some guy that's drunk and always freestyles at a house party. Like everyone knows some form of a rapper, right? So and it's interesting because I had who did I have on here? I had U-God. So U-God from Wu-Tang Clan, he was on here, and his perception of rap is so different because it's like 90s rap. He was saying this thing how he thought it's annoying how everyone has to go through lawyers nowadays, because he said back in the day you just show up at someone's house and sock them in the face. And that's how you would deal with things, And this is such a like, I can't imagine Reo, you walking up to someone and being like, I'm gonna punch you in the face now. Like I can't picture it. The definition of a rapper is just so much more broad now, right? It doesn't mean like a rapper has to be a specific kind of person anymore. But back in the day, I was like, if you're a rapper, you had to be all the things that a rapper was, and that changed throughout time, right? Like rappers being
sure.
more like, wearing wallabies to like wearing chains to big ass glasses to, now it's
Yep.
like, rainbow colored hair or not, it's
Right. Yeah, seriously, there's a whole bunch of different subgenres, I feel like, for sure, because you got the group that is doing like the melodic stuff, then you have like the songwriter rapper, and then you got like this overly honest rapper. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different people, and then you got the other categories of like drill and just like real shit, like super
yeah.
like about it, you know. But it's wild, the evolution. I feel like in even just the last like 10 years has been insane.
Totally.
Yeah.
So then, what are your opinions on drill? Because a lot of people, especially in the UK, everyone really loves drill because there's this, there's like the UK drill thing that's happening, and then there's this one, the drill that's happening in the States. But then I have people that hate drill. They don't like it. Yeah. So I didn't realize it was that divisive. I just thought, I was like, oh, it's cool. It's like a new rap kind of subgenre that's come out that's a little different than the other things. But I'm curious, like, why do you think that people may like or dislike it?
Yeah. I mean, for one, subject matter, like not everyone is going to relate to a lot of this stuff. For example, I grew up in the suburbs, but I love, drill music because like at the end of the day, like it's like I can live vicariously for a second, and then the drums and then the music is just hard. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, there's something that's just like beautiful that lives within inside, some of that stuff for sure. Yeah. It's wild. Yeah.
How's you have
But
like,
I guess it's also kind of like, like you can't, there's some like melodic stuff too that just doesn't sit right with me,
yeah.
On the other end. Yeah.
Like Justin, what do you think? What's your opinion on drill?
Yeah, I appreciate it for what it is. I mean, I don't go out of my way to listen to it all the time, but I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool to see different like communities and music from each city kind of being represented in those different type of ways. Especially, I mean, there's like a few acts out in Sydney from here that, quite drill inspired and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
and they do now like a lot of work with the UK artists involved in that as well. So I mean, it's kind of cool seeing things come together like that, and yeah, just a reflection of communities and music and like what the kids are listening to.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're still kids.
I appreciate it like that. Oh yeah. I mean, I try my best.
Yeah. I mean, it's I think like when you've been listening to music for as long as you have, you see periods where there's a lot of innovation and then music kind of becomes a little stagnant for a while, and it doesn't mean that music isn't good, but not a lot of new things are coming out. And I always find especially in the UK, that they have they're constantly coming up with new genres of things, especially like in electronic music. There's like, what is it? There's like UK funky was a thing, but now they're into, what are they into now? There's like there's another genre that people were talking about that I hadn't ever heard of. There's always like some new form of dubstep that's coming out too. I was always like, oh, there's like another dubstep, but that might be an American thing. But it is interesting. So when I learned about drill, I was like, oh, this is really cool. Quam, whatever that other genre that's coming out of the UK, but it's based in music from Africa. It's like GQUM or GQUOM.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of that before?
No, I'm gonna check it
No.
out.
Am I blowing your minds by misspelling
I'm
a
about to
genre?
write it up right now.
It's a really cool. It's a really 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 cool kind of new, I guess, subgenre of electronic music. It has kind of like a Baltimore beat kind of vibe to it, but then it's also very rooted in like African sounds and vocals and percussion.
Yeah.
Tends to be like a little darker, but not always. And
Yeah, that's dope.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll share more with you guys on the side about that.
Yeah.
Let's get to the food portion. So I'm really curious as to if you guys got any food. Let me explain the segment to anyone tuning in right now and for the both of you in case you didn't get anything to eat. But basically, we use this time in the show to support our local small businesses, many of them not doing so hot right now during coronavirus. So I've been ordering takeout every Thursday to support my local restaurants. Some artists find that they live so remotely they can't order any food, so they've been cooking for themselves and working on their health. So that's basically the segment. And it gives us something to do while we're listening to music. So that's the main part of having some food nearby. Yeah, Rio, did you get anything?
I got some food. It's sitting right here.
Hell yeah.
I've been waiting very patiently. This is a TKB. It's the kids bakery. It's this bakery that's actually right down the street from the house. And if I'm being honest, I eat it a little more often than I probably should. But yeah, no, it's great. Yeah.
Can we see what it looks like?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just popped
Yeah,
in.
it's basically show and tell on this program.
Yeah.
So you got a sandwich?
Yeah, it's a sandwich.
Yeah,
It's
that looks really good.
The bread looks really good on that.
Yeah, it's a Parmesan bread.
And
then it's just tuna.
How big is that thing though?
Dude, it's like size
You can
comparison.
hold it up against your head. Yeah,
I got a pretty large dome piece too. So
get your money's worth.
Right, yeah, it's definitely 2 meals worth.
Depends on the person. And I was like, if it's me, let's see. Justin, what'd you get? I know it's really early, so maybe.
Yeah. Well, I can't order anything. I'm pretty remote, so I just have coffee.
Okay, exactly.
For me.
it's always that thing on this program where tons of people have been like, well, I live in the boonies in New York, or I live somewhere so remote that they cook for themselves. Actually, a good one was we had Barclay Crenshaw, Claude Von Stroke on, and it was right during Easter, so he just had a bunch of colored Easter eggs. Do you guys do that in Australia? The colored Easter egg hunts? Is that an American thing?
Yeah, hiding them around, or
I mean, taking a hard-boiled egg and then you dye it a color and then you hide it. So I guess, and then you find them.
Probably not that far, but most of the time they made a chocolate and then they do it that way. But
oh yeah, the chocolates are better than the hard-boiled egg. But yeah, he had a bunch of these pink hard-boiled eggs just on a plate, and he was just eating some of them on the show.
Oh really?
Yeah. It looks like we lost Rio. Hopefully he can hop back on. But yeah, let's listen to this next one because you actually picked the next song. And yeah, Jimmy Stack. So you picked this song by Jimmy Stack. It's called Can We with Casey Hill. And he's been making he's been coming back up, but he'd been around a while ago as well, making waves. And I'm seeing him release more music lately. Have you been just keeping up with all his music?
Yeah. I've know Jimmy pretty well. And then just seeing his output this year has been great, from collaborations to the album and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just always been super lovely person and just talented dude. So
yeah,
he's back.
He's back again. He actually did. I guess I can't say the context of why I was listening to the song, but he did this really amazing remix of was it Actress? No, Jimmy Stack did a remix of someone really, really cool. And I remember just thinking how incredible the remix was, but it was all recently. So I've been seeing a lot of his music pop up more I mean, not recently, right now, but at least over the last year or so. Yeah.
That's my guy. I love his music. Super
Sick.
dope.
Okay, so we'll listen to Can We by Jimmy Stack. Justin, you can drink your coffee in the meantime.
Yeah.
I totally forgot to share my food, so I'll do that afterwards.
Yeah.
I would give you the world if that would make it all better. They said that love's gonna hurt, but baby,
Chat, stay active. We have a giveaway coming soon.
if I give it up, would it break your heart just to know what I'm like?
Shout out Manu Dia.
And there's a million words I could say to you, baby. But if you think it could work, tell me they're all worth saying. If I'm giving up, would it break your heart just to know what I'm like? 'Cause I'm home again. Tell me you're feeling it. If it's love.
I love that. The song kind of has that kind of Motown. It has like a sped up Motown vibe to it. Obviously, very modern. But it kind of reminds me of like the heyday of Kanye when he was doing like the really sped up samples, and everyone had that like really high. Which album was that? That was College Dropout. No, that was. I forgot.
I think
Yeah, it might have
was.
been College Dropout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Kanye. He was on our presidential ballot. That's weird, huh?
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah. That
Yeah,
was interesting.
I was like, this is a real thing. Apparently, 60,000 people voted for him or something like that.
Yeah, wild. I thought it was gonna be like a write-in situation. I was definitely not expecting to see it on the ballot.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, it's something he can say that he's done. Like, I was on the ballot. Even
Right,
that is
yeah.
like enough because you have to. How do you even get on the ballot? You have to like do or qualify in some way to get on the ballot in the first place, right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. So much about the justice system there's left to know. I think Rio, you should vote. You should vote. You should
Run?
run for president.
Yeah, I might have to sit that one out. It's a lot of responsibility. I got a puppy now.
Oh, I know. I hope I hope your puppy makes a cameo. What kind of puppy did you get?
Right.
This show loves a good pet cameo, just to let you know.
Oh, right. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. She's downstairs right now, I think. But
What-
yeah, she's a little chihuahua, which
Sick.
is yeah. It's
Like a
super funny.
legit-
She's like the size of my two hands. Yeah.
Is she like a puppy or is she?
Yeah. Yeah, she's I think she's like 17 weeks now. So she's maturing now. So she's like just getting out of the tiny
Nice.
phase. Yeah. But it was
She's-
wild. It was kind of scary for a while because she was like the size of like a can of food. It was
Man.
kind of scary.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Little fragile creature. Yeah.
I was like, exiting the tiny phase into just the tiny phase because chihuahuas never exit the small
Right.
phase. They're just always
Yeah.
so small.
Yeah, seriously.
What was it like? The just like my favorite expression of a chihuahua is they're like their eyes like slightly open and just like tired and like kind of
Yeah.
shivering. It's the classic chihuahua.
Right.
so funny.
Seriously.
You got the like squinty eyed chihuahua. And that's like it's all
Yeah.
hot outside. But yeah, so yeah, the song it came out basically a few weeks ago, right before Halloween, and on his album Ephemera. So I haven't actually listened to the entire album yet. Have you guys checked it out from Jimmy Stack?
Yeah.
No,
I've
I
been
just
playing
listened
that
to
quite a
few
bit.
of them. Yeah.
Banger, good, worth checking out. Should we go check it out some more at some point on our own?
Yeah,
Let's
all
see.
Jimmy's
Yeah.
music I feel like is for sure worth checking out. Yeah. Everything he
It's
makes
good.
is pretty much fire.
Yeah.
know.
Lots of good
The man
features
doesn't
on there
miss.
as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can imagine for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is so interesting. I have little like trivia blurbs about all the songs that you guys pick for the program. So I didn't
Oh,
realize
that's
that
so cool.
Casey Hill is his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Nah. This. Don't forget who's hosting the show. We like a little bit of that TMZ in here. It's a little bit of that. Oh, what's going on the side? Who's broken up with who? Keep it fun,
Right.
It's so interesting. Have you guys ever dated? I mean, talking about personal stuff. Have you guys ever dated like another musician, singer?
Yeah, before.
How did that work out for you?
Oh no, it's fine for me. It was good. It's just busy schedules, I guess. But yeah, everything was cool. No
Me, I
bad
kind of knew
breakups
better.
or
I
anything,
was
nothing
like,
juicy.
Yeah,
No.
my number
Yeah,
one rule is always never to date a rapper. I was just like,
Oh, rapper.
athletes and rappers. Like, not
Rappers
the
have
one.
like
Yeah.
bad raps for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Man,
just
artists and like musicians are just so creative and a lot of times sporadic that I was always talk myself out of situations like that. Yeah. I was like, let me just stay over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. For every girl out there that's ever dated a DJ, I'm sorry. It takes a very special person to make that work. So let's see. I want to like see how you guys have been doing otherwise. I mean, talking about music. So we're talking about Jimmy Stack and his album that he's put out. How's it been creating during this time for the both of you? I mean, I'm not sure, Justin, for you if like your schedule has really changed that much, but I imagine if the US isn't functioning normally, then some aspects of your career have changed too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being a producer, you're kind of used to being on your own and stuff anyway. But
Yeah. Solitude is very
it's
familiar.
very good. But yeah, I guess if I'm in LA, it's like working with people like as much as I can every day and stuff like that. So I miss that a lot. But yeah, it's been good still being in touch and working on previous projects that I've been involved in and staying busy with that. But I guess my day to day is very, very, very chill. So it's trying to make music and stay as productive as I can, but also be aware that I don't have to do that every day because everything's a little bit limited at the moment.
Yeah.
This is true. I like how you guys have all your gear around you and stuff. It's like, look at me, I'm doing stuff,
Doing stuff. Playing piano and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. So someone's playing a guitar back there and like some
Right.
plants, But Rio, have you been working? I mean, you've been putting out music too, so I'm wondering, like, how has it been for you? Have you had to push anything because of this, like releases or?
Yeah, we had to push a whole bunch of stuff. It's been really cool though because I feel like the creative process you were kind of forced to be creative in a different way, So like a lot of the stuff that I've been doing lately has just been super remote. So it's been a lot of sending stuff on the internet and things like that, or else a lot of self-produced stuff, and then bringing in some of my friends to make my really bad ideas good.
Oh no, you got good ideas.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been pretty much, it's been chill. It's been really weird though because like usually you can get in the studio and be a normal human being. It's so weird to create like strictly just by yourself for the majority of the time nowadays. I'm like, okay, cool. No one's making like shitty jokes or anything in the background. There's no cell phones like, yo, like in the recording or anything. Yeah.
That must be like a really interesting thing because I was identifying with Justin too because as a producer I'm alone almost all the time, and I don't really work with. The only time I work with other artists are usually vocalists, right? Like in the studio
Right.
with a vocalist or a rapper or singer, but then not like when I'm producing, I'm always like 95% of the time I don't know. Historically, 99% of the time I just work by myself. And
Right.
occasionally when I have worked with other people, it's like sending stems, and maybe like twice I've worked in the studio with another producer.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I have like a weird complex, I think, just from being being a female producer for so long. I think in the really early days, people never really gave me any credit for doing anything. So I felt very conscientious of working with other male musicians because I didn't want credit to be taken away from me, which is super toxic and it's not a healthy way to think. So I'm breaking out of that now, but now it's coronavirus, so I can't really work with anyone in person.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's got to be an interesting dynamic and whatnot too, because that's kind of, I mean, I can understand how, sometimes, that's like your own kind of world, which is wild because, it's like being a female producer and being, like, but you're also fucking a super dope producer, but, like to have, it's wild because you do have, female attached, which doesn't make any fucking sense, because like when you talk about a producer, like, like that's not, it's wild.
Yeah, it's one of those things that doesn't need to be super important, but over the span of my like quite long-standing career at this point, it's like so much more chill now. And I think before these complexes and worries I had about credit due to me or people not doubting me, a lot of those have kind of gone away just from maturity. Like I don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore, but also just I've been doing it so long. So if you don't know, then that's really up to the other person. So yeah, if you guys ever want to collab on a beat, just hit me up. I'm down.
Hell yeah.
The doors are open now. But yeah, sorry, I like totally went on a tangent. But yeah, so Justin's saying like, you always tend to work alone for the most part anyways. And it's interesting because for you, Reo, you're so much more used to working with other people and collaborating and having lots of feedback. Like I'm not used to any feedback. I'm not used to like when someone says like, "Oh, I don't know if I like your kick drum." I'm like, "Well, screw you.
Right.
You're not a part of this song." But and sometimes I wish I was like, "Oh, it'd be cool if I had a bandmate," because like sometimes I don't know if like which idea is better. You have these FOMO moments, but it does occur to me that this whole situation must be so much more of a drastic difference from what you're used to, because you had mentioned that you're so used to working with other people, like on the phone, people walking in and out of rooms, someone's given an opinion. And do you find that now that you're all by yourself that you have to trust your ideas more, or?
Yeah. Well, it's wild because I feel like most of my ideas that I'm making by myself are actually better without outside influence. So I've been really lucky. Dude, I probably made like 200 songs in the last like 7 months alone, which has been like super cool, but also a little frustrating because, when you have a large pile of songs, it's so hard to be like, oh, okay, cool. This is going to go on this project, like da da da. These are the good songs, it's tough to do that with like a bigger pot of, So that's been a huge struggle. And then also, since I made a whole bunch of the ideas like by myself in the room, I'm like, okay, well, what does each idea need now? That's the hardest part for me is like music is, it's always been like a collaborative effort. And I feel like, if you're collabing with one or two people, it's always going to come out a lot better than, if you're just kind of making some stuff by yourself, because it's good to have some of the outside opinions,
Yeah 100%.
And then it's like when you got friends like you guys, I'm like, oh wow, these people are like 30 times better than what I could ever imagine to be as far as the music side of things. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, let me get on the phone.
It's really nice to have this support system, especially in this era. Imagine what music would be like if this whole coronavirus thing happened in the late 80s or early 90s, like pre-internet. At least now, I mean, actually society, how remote you would feel at that time. Now, at least, you can, as cliche as Zoom is, at least you can like Zoom and FaceTime your friends. At least you can have Dropbox, the amazing Dropbox or Box, whatever you choose to use. But, to work with people. And it makes the lands, at least it makes it so that we don't feel completely stagnant. We can move forward and feel a little bit of, I guess, social interaction. Like this is my
Right.
social interactions. So it's
Yeah.
really nice to see you guys.
Same.
So I forgot I still haven't mentioned the food that I have in front of me, which I really want to eat, but I'm waiting. But I want to just ask another question before I get into that. What have you guys been doing outside of music during this time?
Oh, I've been playing a lot of golf, which is pretty good.
Oh, fire.
Yeah,
I
which is
love
like
golfing.
actually, it was like one of the only things you could do after like the little lockdown period because it was
Yeah.
so spacious. But as frustrating as it can be for people, I mean, it's just nice to be outdoors and there's quite a lot of green around you. But yeah, other than that, playing golf, seeing friends when I can, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. A lot of friends because a lot of people have come back that I grew up with. Obviously,
Right.
everyone's
Yeah.
kind of spread around the world, so a lot of people have come back. So it feels like that extended Christmas break holiday type feel.
Nice. The longest
yeah.
holiday ever.
Yeah, it's a very long holiday, but no, that's been good. Other than that, a lot of Nintendo Switch as well, which is awesome.
Let's
What game
go.
are you playing?
What have I been playing? Smash Brothers all the time, and then I don't know. There's this other one, Mario vs. Rabbids. My niece bought it for herself,
Yeah.
and then I was like, "No, this is pretty good. I'm gonna play this all the time."
Wait, which Mario is that one?
It's first Mario vs. Rabbids, I think it's called. It's like there's the little rabbit.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like rabid rabbits, right? They kind of look like little zombies.
Yeah, they're a little bit crazy.
That's
eyed.
right. Yeah,
But,
I've had I haven't like touched my Twitch. Actually, I want to get Smash Brothers. Yeah, I think that's the thing I should get. I'm gonna write a note down. Download Smash. That'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll give us something for me and my boyfriend to do, other than just watching 90 Day Fiance, which is what we've been doing otherwise. Okay, well, Rio, what have you been doing outside of music?
I've been just trying to stay busy. I was super not busy for a long time during like the first part of the quarantine and whatnot. But then I've been like writing songs freelance on the side just randomly.
All
I'm like,
right.
damn, this makes more than my day job. Which was super random. And then I've been trying to diversify a little bit too. I was like, okay, well, I'm not playing shows right now. Like, what should I be doing? Like, let me make some smart financial moves. So I've been looking into like investing into some rental properties out here in the desert. So that's been a lot of my focus. We're probably gonna build something, is what we're thinking, out in Joshua Tree, and just keep it as a short-term rental. And yeah, kind of pretty boring. Pretty
So-
boring, but
You guys are like quintessential. There should be a banner that just says adulting on the top.
right.
Yeah.
That's so
Adulting
funny.
101.
You know,
Yeah.
invest in properties and go golf.
Right. Seriously.
I actually I've been wanting to go golfing the entire time because I don't usually have a lot of time to golf, and I used to golf quite a lot. I know it sounds super nerdy, but golf is pretty lit. It's like really relaxing. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a fancy version of like shooting pool. You know, at the end of the day, it's
Pretty
you know, it's people make it seem so bougie, but you know, it's it could be for anyone. You know, anyone could be good at it if you practice a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I think the idea is to go into it not thinking that you're good at it, because like honestly, everyone's pretty shit at golf anyway. So
golf is hard.
it's
I
such
love
a
when
hard
people think that it's so easy. They're like, what, you just whack this ball? Like what? And then they just sit there and they basically like crush the club like into the mat, because like the main thing people do is either hit the air or like hit the mat too hard. And I'm like, see, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Ooh, we lost Rio again.
Yeah. It keeps tripping.
It's, you know what? It's that desert internet, but at least you
That-
get to be in a big ass house. Okay, he's gonna come back.
There you go.
For the chat and anyone paying attention, so we're gonna do a giveaway today, and it is a T-shirt from the Karl Lagerfeld collaboration that I had done. We're thinking of a good question, so maybe you guys can help me, Justin and Rio. I'm thinking of 2 questions that we can ask the chat. So one question would be, who's everyone's favorite 90s hip hop artist? And so that could be one question. And then I guess we'll just figure out how to pick that person. But that's one question. And I don't know. I don't know what another good question is. It's hard to, I'm not good at giveaways. I don't know. This is not what I like trained myself to do. What's another way?
So what are we're doing best answer wins?
Yeah, you know, like a best, you know what? If you do your favorite 90s hip hop artist, you have to say why. You know, if you're going to say like Busta Rhymes, I have to like see why.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through and figure it out. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do either, wait, why don't we just stick with that? We'll just make that the question. Obviously, I'm still learning how to do this. It's only been 35 weeks since I've done this program. So chat, list your favorite 90s R&B or hip hop artist or rap artist and tell us why. And then later towards the end, we'll pick the best answer and you'll win a t-shirt.
Let's go.
It's so funny. I've like never done that before. I'm like, you get one and you get one. I mean, I'm not big enough to do that. So really only one person gets one. And that's as good as it gets on this program. Okay, so now that I've done that, I want to show you guys what I ordered. And I know you guys got to see, or at least Justin saw because I showed you earlier. So I ordered from a restaurant called Blossom. It's a really great Vietnamese restaurant in LA. It's probably one of the better ones you can get outside of being like Westminster, San Gabriel. So I got, hold on. So I got spring rolls, or no, summer rolls. So these are like the fresh ones that have shrimp and some pork. And this is something I've never had before. They're kind of almost like tempura fried, like sweet potato fries. And you're supposed to take those and wrap them in the lettuce with, you know, the herbs and then dip them into fish sauce. So if you've ever had Vietnamese egg rolls, that's also something you do. They give you the egg rolls and you're supposed to wrap it in extra lettuce and then dip it. And on top of that, I got this, which is a noodle bowl, kind of like a noodle salad, and I got it with tofu, which has been sauteed with lemongrass, and it has vermicelli noodles inside and herbs and pickled vegetables and bean sprouts, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I'm going to eat it because it's healthy. So finally, we did that.
Delicious.
And you put it all on a nice plate and a nice bowl. I got like my styrofoam like container.
Okay. So in the early days of this, it would just be like 10 plastic containers here, and I was like, bro, this is like starting to like be difficult to bring into the room that I stream in because like my kitchen is on a different floor and I'd have to carry around these like hefty boxes. So I decided to, you know, make it look a little nice and spread it out. You know, I guess get in touch with my inner food stylist. New hobbies, right?
Yeah.
New things to do. If this music thing doesn't work and if this show doesn't work, then I can do something. I know I built a skill during quarantine. Okay, I'm like going off again. Okay, so let's listen to this next song. So this is Weathin, and the song is called Free Fall. It features Oliver Tree. So Rio, you picked this one. Why is this a song that you like?
I like this one. Weathin's new album. This is I think it was like one of the singles on the album. But yeah, Weathin's super fire. This song is really cool too. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about it. I have, I don't know. I guess I don't have that many little insights into this song, but at least it's fun. Oliver Tree, his visuals are so hilarious.
Super dope.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
Watch out, here I come. Is there any way you can help me out? I'm talking right here, watch me jump. I get a little closer when I've had enough. I'm falling. Something else, I'll tell you. Something else, I'd help you. Something more than that.
fun songs.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You know, another thing I'm noticing about Corona and with like COVID quarantine time is I'm a little less exposed to music. In some ways, I'm more exposed to certain songs, and in some ways, I'm not experiencing like Weathen is an artist that I know of, but he won't pop up on an algorithm for me, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And so, but when I hear it, I'm like, oh, this is fun. You know, it's something that I would hear if I was like at a festival, or if I was sharing transportation with someone, or if I was in Ubers more again and things like that. And it's nice to have this program because you're like, oh yeah, this is a song, and I didn't know that it was out. I just remembered. So the first time I met Reo was in Bali, because you were on tour. Yeah. You were on tour with Harley Flume, and I got so wasted that night, unintentionally. And when I mean wasted, it was like, I think I had to pull over on the side of the road, and some like, you know, these roads in Bali are so narrow, and I was staying at like a different place. They're dropping me off, like the the festival transportation. I was like, I think you guys need to pull over. I think I need to throw up. So I think I literally threw up on the side of the road in front of someone's like little Balinese house, and I was like, I remember someone being like, I think they're coming to the door. I was like, and then I had to run back in. It's so funny because it's not my proudest moment. It's not like, you know, that's something that happens very often with me, but that was one moment where I remember that had happened, and
Legendary.
I was like, do we like tell the festival person I'm sorry? Like I was so embarrassed by it too. It's like too much of a good time. I think we're just drinking like tons of tequila that night, right? Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think we were. Yeah, I do remember now. Yeah, that was such a fun festival because it was like right on the waterfront too. And I remember when because I watched your set, and I remember looking into the crowd, and there was like a whole bunch of like drunkenly passed out Australians in like the front row, and on the I was like, whoa, dude. It was that was a really fun night. But yeah, we were drinking tequila because I think it might have been like the last night of that run for everyone too. So it was it was like a very triumphant night. That was super fun.
Bali's like it's a very easy place to drink a lot very easily.
Yeah. I don't even know how to describe, but you're just in such a good mood, you just forget your limits, I think. But that was funny. That was a really funny night. And then I ran into you the same tour, because I think that was in the summer, so everyone's roaming around Asia doing these Asia tours. I saw you in Japan after, right?
Yeah. Or actually, I think I think Japan might have been beforehand. Maybe not. Maybe I have it backwards. But yeah, I remember being so in awe because I hadn't seen. We were drinking Zimas.
That's the thing.
Like,
okay.
Dude. I was like, what? Yeah, we were drinking Zimas. I was like, whoa, this is like. My mom and my aunt used to drink this. Like, when I was growing
Japanese
up,
Zimas. They were good.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, they were good. I was so surprised.
And there are these like really pretty little bottles. I don't know if like Japan has like special Zimas. I haven't seen one in the States forever, but when I tasted it, I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be like a Smirnoff Ice, but I was like, this tastes kind of different.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. It was like so much more mellow and actually just like, okay, you can drink a few of those and not be super hungover the next day.
Yeah, versus the next time. Yeah.
Right.
I can't, wait. Yeah, that was first. Japan.
So,
no. Japan was first and Bali was second.
Yeah, I think that's what the case was. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I can't really remember very much. But yeah, I want to hear do you guys have an opinion on Oliver Tree? He's such an interesting artist and really enigmatic, or not enigmatic, but he's just like, he's like a character, right? And you see a lot of those nowadays with who's another one? Forgot her name. There's like a few Poppy, where Poppy is this like fictional character that's also making music. Oliver Tree is also like a character, and I wonder outside of Oliver Tree if he's a completely different person or if he's just authentically like that all the time.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fixing the focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always thinking the same thing as well, because it's like such an over the top character, plus rocking that bowl cut all the time.
Oh yeah. It's
I'm like-
pretty hilarious. He's always wearing that pastel windbreaker and then the Junko, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
big
Big rave pants.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
It's
which is
pretty
great.
amazing. Wait, in Australia were people wearing rave pants like that? Is that a thing? The
Yeah,
big
definitely
pants?
like in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I think probably a little bit again now. Everything comes back around, I guess. But
This is true.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was
it was
talking
a
to
thing.
people in the UK and stuff. They didn't do the big pants thing. That was not an English thing, I think. But I did remember seeing even into like the 2000s, people were kind of still doing the big old pants.
Yeah,
Right.
big pants and shuffling,
Parachute
I guess,
pants.
everywhere.
Australia was very known for their shuffling, and I think they still are. But I remember people sending me videos of this like hard kind of like trance techno, and then people just like shuffling in corners and stuff. It was
Yeah, yeah.
everyone's like,
Yeah.
"This is so amazing! Look at these people!" It's like sliding all over the room, essentially, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess tactfully sliding around the room, but the shuffling was such a thing. I mean, shuffling is big now too, but in a slightly different kind of way. I get a lot of shufflers on my Instagram for some reason. Maybe because I
Yeah.
follow a lot of DJs. I'm like, wow, what's going on?
Sometimes I see a shuffling video and I wish I could shuffle. But then I just like instantly just start sweating just thinking about like moving that fast.
Yeah. And I think for me, I always get like these real like hot, like thick, like really like strong girls that are just like shuffling
Yeah.
in short shorts. That's
Yeah,
like what
yeah.
my whole explore page is right now. I'm like, I was like, whoa, where did this algorithm come from? But this is cool. Let's listen to this next song because this song is also super cool, but I had never heard of it before. So let me double check the name. Yeah, so Hieroglyphics and Sinistar BS6. So this song is really cool. I'm not familiar with the artist. Can you give me some background on them?
I think they're pretty recent, new like artists out of the UK. I'm pretty sure, but Sherelle, who's a DJ, she does a lot of like footwork and jungle out of the UK, and that was just on her label Hoover Sound, which is, I don't know, it's really cool. Her Boiler Room set from I think early this or end of last year was really awesome, and she just won I think it was like DJ Mag, like upcoming DJ of the year.
Fire.
Cool. That's Sherelle?
Yeah, so she just won that, but then yeah, Hoover Sound's her label with a few other DJs, like a collective. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I just like the their kind of take on that footwork and jungle sort of style, and
Exactly. I find
awesome to see.
right now that jungle, like the almond break is coming back very strong, and
Yeah,
a lot of people are doing 90s breaks, kind of like circa post Moby. Like I'm hearing it a lot. I don't know if it's just me, but what my
that's
algorithm
definitely a
is
thing.
feeding me. But even I don't know if you guys heard that song with Bonobo and Teed, like Totally Enormous 60
Yeah.
Dinosaurs. So that one that had come out also has that kind of like that break beat and like the vocal and I forgot. There's a few other artists that were doing that too, but we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's listen to this track first. I was listening to this before and I was like, the song's mad. I gotta eat my food. I'll be announcing the winner for the giveaway very soon.
Break it up.
song is so dope. It has so many different elements coming in constantly.
Right.
Yeah.
Also really cool to see people constantly reinventing footwork. People change the BPM a lot too, so it's like very fast or a lot slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's around a lot.
Break it up. Break it up.
So let's talk about this. So for the both of you, you guys have a really, really diverse range of music that you listen to. I mean, I would say I do too. And a lot of people in this day and age, they don't just listen to one thing. Like I feel like this current generation, the younger generation are so diverse. They listen to everything. They can listen to 15 seconds of a song and be like, this is a bop, you know?
Yep.
So that being said, do you guys ever feel as though when maybe like in your earlier years that it was not, I don't know if you would feel like criticized, but how did you feel about your taste being more diverse? Do you think that people accepted the fact that you can listen to footwork, but also listen to, I don't know, like Jodeci or something like that?
Right. For me, it was kind of interesting. For sure, most kids like when I was younger, like in high school or whatever, were listening to strictly like one genre for sure. It wasn't until I got older that like people started, well, at least started showing that they were listening to like different types of music. But it was interesting because I just grew up listening to everything, you know, and I guess it kind of like influenced a lot of the stuff that I make now, like to this day. But yeah, it was wild because for sure, if I look back on like middle school or high school, yeah, there was only like one genre that everyone was listening to for certain.
Yeah, it
What
was always
that
like,
genre?
you know,
That
it's like
genre.
you're listening to Green Day or you're listening to Tupac.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such an interesting turn of events now because it just means that you don't need to serve people with algorithms anymore necessarily, because I feel like you can really challenge people nowadays because they're just used to listening to everything.
Yeah.
I mean, actually right now, what do you think is let me ask a good question. What's a good question? Okay, guilty pleasure. Let's do something fun. What is the corniest or perceivably corniest musician or band that you used to or still listen to, Justin?
Or what? Just like a whole album, or just like songs?
Like you could just be like, you know, there was a moment where like I really liked Spice Girls. You know, so something to break away from the sort of like more academic and like
I mean,
cool
Britney
music.
Spears would be in there for sure.
Britney
Do you have a
Spears, yeah.
particular song?
Like Toxic. That's a
Toxic.
great song.
That was a really good song. It's also really well produced. That song is
Yeah.
super good.
Yeah, that's why.
Really
there's that
well
one.
produced. It's
Yeah.
wild,
And then-
all the work that they put into that stuff.
Oh man.
It's insane. And
Yeah.
it's interesting because it's the song, but also these music videos. And have you guys ever gone back and like watched like late 90s rap videos, like the era of like Mace or Maya, or like the big moment where there was like Puff Daddy and stuff? Those videos were crazy. Those Missy Elliott
yeah.
videos and all that. I was like
Yeah.
watching The Rain. I'm like, no one makes videos like this.
For
That's
sure. Well,
awesome.
those budgets were they were looking different back then too.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the case? Do you
Yellow
think that?
jumpsuits. You need
Yeah.
the yellow jumpsuits, man.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah,
The
they
more
were
money
spending
they
like
put.
so much money on videos, like probably like, you know, $500,000 to $1 million budgets on crazy videos like that stuff. Yeah.
I guess that's true. I guess I never really thought about it. I always just figured like maybe the vast majority of us aren't getting that budget, but maybe like an Ariana Grande would get a
Right.
budget. But like This no one's taking that big budget and making like a super super crazy. Maybe like a few of the Kanye ones have been good. I guess the weekend that what is it? Is it Blinding Lights? That video was pretty sick. I don't know if you guys saw that one.
Oh yeah.
It was like the kind of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and his face was all bloodied. It was a pretty cool video.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I miss the era of like those old crazy Missy Elliott videos.
Yeah.
Actually, the Busta Rhymes videos were pretty awesome at that time.
Yes.
Like,
there's a lot of like this stuff happening back then, you know?
Yeah.
Like Fisheye and
yeah. Yep.
just bring the
That's
Fisheye
very
back.
accurate. Yeah. The Ludacris ones were really cool too.
That's
Ludacris
right.
did some crazy ones, yeah.
He had
With his hair all out and wild, you know.
Yeah. What was that?
Yeah,
He had a
that
really
was awesome.
what was that? He had that really funny video where he just had like the big buff arms. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
I think it was like the step back one. I forgot the name of the song, but he was just like these like big cartoonishly large arms telling people to like stay back. I don't know if that was like his biggest song, but if you both heard it, you would recognize it. But the video was pretty good.
Get back, you don't know me like that. Like
that one.
That's
Exactly. See, Reo has to do it because you have to be my rap translator. I can't say it. It won't work with me.
Right.
I actually want to announce the winner right now for this t-shirt, and it is Asomnia TV. And I may or may not have said your name correctly, but hopefully you can send your email off to Kelly, and her username is Kelly Projects. Insomnia TV basically said, favorite 90s hip hop artist is Jurassic 5 as it opened up my ears to a whole world of other beats and vibes beyond the hip hop sound I knew that my friends and family listened to, i.e. Tupac, Biggie, Mac 10, Dr. Dre, Bone Thugs, etc. So I liked that vibe. It's really interesting though. Like I personally have mixed feelings about Jurassic 5. Sometimes I really like them, and sometimes I'm not sure, but I like the impact that they had on this person. So that's for you. You can go and hit up Kelly and she'll hook you up. Shit, what was I going to talk about? Let's listen to another song. So Reo, this is your track. So it's Grown Men Don't Cry. And
perfect.
This is a recent release, recent-ish. I mean, it came out in April.
Yeah, just right as the stay-at-home order stuff in Los Angeles.
How did you feel about releasing it at that time?
It was interesting. It was like I wasn't very sure. I don't think anyone was really sure because we just music politics, super music politics was going on at that time, but we were trying to figure out if we should hold it or not. And me being me, I'm like, just put it out. But I don't know. It's doing pretty good, and I'm glad that we put it out because I actually made that one on tour. I think right after I came back from seeing you guys in Bali and whatnot. I wrote that song. That was the first song that I wrote after tour, and so I'm glad that I got to see the light of day after COVID hit.
Exactly. Everyone's had
Sparks produced it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out Chrome Sparks.
Shout out to Jeremy.
They it's interesting, this idea about releasing music during COVID, because some people were so apprehensive in the beginning.
Yeah.
This Last Resort show was birthed out of quarantine. So basically middle of April is when we started doing this, and I got bamboozled by my manager into hosting this show. But here I am today, still sticking with it. But yeah, it's because of that, I've actually seen how people's reactions have changed over the past 35 weeks, which is quite a while, right?
Yeah, it's a long time.
And you can see how people were a lot more apprehensive in the beginning. They're like, should I have released music? Should I have this album? It's supposed to come out. Would it be worthwhile? And since the beginning, I always thought it would be better to put it out because, music is meant to be heard. And if you hold on to it, you never know if it loses relevancy, and that kind of stuff happens. So I'm glad that you put this track out because we're going to listen to it right now. So Grown Men Don't Cry by Reo Cragun.
I don't wanna play pretend, I just want this all to end. I don't wanna feel this way for life. I don't wanna play pretend, I just want this all to end. I don't wanna feel this way for life. Fuck, I ain't feeling sorry. Ooh, grow man, don't cry. Fuck, I ain't feeling sorry. Ooh, grow man, don't.
Big boy, sure don't cry. Gotta hide how you feel inside. I can feel a lake with the tears. Haven't let it rain in a year. Girl, you been on my mind. Heard you found another guy that kills me inside. Why, oh, why? I feel like dancing. Only when nobody's around. My life is tragic. I'm still
All in your
trying
feels,
to
huh?
figure shit out.
Right.
Fuck, I ain't feeling sorry. Ooh, grow man, don't cry. Fuck, I ain't feeling sorry. Ooh, grow man, don't.
I don't wanna play pretend. I just want this all to end. I don't wanna feel this way for life. Man, don't cry. I don't wanna play pretend. I just want this all to end. I don't wanna feel this way for life. Yeah. Chirp, 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 chirp. Heard the early bird get the worm. I've been putting work. Miss your birthday, I'm the worst. Hate my life in LA. I wanna go back home. What's my purpose here?
I gotta know.
I feel like dancing when nobody else is around. My life is tragic. I'm still trying to figure shit out.
Fuck, I ain't feeling sorry. Ooh, grow man, don't cry. Fuck, I ain't feeling sorry. Ooh, grow man, don't.
I don't wanna play pretend. I just want this all to end. I don't wanna feel this way for life. Man, don't cry. I don't wanna play pretend. I just want this all to end. I don't wanna feel this way for life.
Oh. Oh, in your feels.
I know, super emotional song. Very emo.
I wonder, okay, so for me as a producer, I'm always so blown away by vocalists and lyric writing and things like that. I can, write lyrics and things, but
Yeah.
by far it's not like a strong trait for me. So when I see artists and they are able to create these stories, and I'm curious, like when you had written this song, was it based off of the idea of being away from someone or breaking up with someone and that, or is it something more along the lines of like tapping into a feeling, or?
Right. Yeah, it was more like tapping into something. So it was like there was a whole bunch of things that I was pretty much like dealing with at that time. I was, because I think we were gone for like, 20, 30 days at a time at that point on the road. And I was just like, dang, like there's so much stuff going on. And then also there was stuff going on at home that I just couldn't be a part of, that I probably, I had business that I needed to tend to over there and stuff like that. So it was just like, it was the whole idea that, like I'm not allowed to break down and kind of like have those moments where, like I'm freaking out mentally. I need to hold it together and actually do stuff and like be the man and, and yeah, get it done. So that was kind of it. It was me talking myself out of like, you don't have time to be in your head right now. We got things to do and da 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 da. So yeah, and that was kind of, and it sucks though too, because we were talking about being like a female producer, and then also on the other side, like sometimes like men like have shit that they needed to deal with like emotionally that they just will refuse to do because we got our walls up and stuff like that. And, you know, yeah, that was kind of like those things. It's tough sometimes, you know.
It is so
Sometimes
tough,
I'm
you know.
being softy.
I know you are. I mean, it's a whole concept of toxic masculinity, right? You know, it's a common thing that people talk about. But you know, I think times are changing though. People are so in their feels. Like, you know, if you had a song like this out maybe in like 1994, I don't know, would it have worked then? Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Good point.
There's progress at least, but yeah, it's true. I think there's a lot of that where men feel as though they have to like act a very specific way, and in order to play game or to, you know, you're not allowed to cry because you have so many things that you have to take care of, right? Like you're not allowed to do this because you got to focus on this other stuff.
Right. Yeah.
We're all in here going like, I can identify. This is a real thing.
It's all relatable.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the chat. Y'all are being super nice right now.
Yeah.
Oh. Someone said, I ain't no punk though. Ooh. They said real talk though, but I ain't no punk though. I feel that.
I feel
you
that
can
too.
you can be a sensey. I call it sensey bro. I have a few like sensey bro friends. They're like they're kind of bros, but they're like sensitive bros. I also have like a few sensey thug friends, like rapper / like a little more thug life guys, but then at the end of the day they have like an AK in their car, but they're also really sensitive. You know.
Yeah.
You have to have a balance.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of homies like that too, for sure.
They're just like, man, this girl. But they're also just like, hey, you know, want to see like my like whatever semi-automatic that's in my trunk right now. It's like, all right, LA is a really weird place, you know.
It's a melting pot.
100%.
Yeah.
So then, that track came out on Beam Me Up. It's April 2020. Chrome Sparks. It's so cool because you have such a diverse. I guess like a lot of diverse producers kind of working with you and you working with them, and it really tapped into both like a lot of these worlds. Like, you know, you are in this like kind of like cool like rap world thing, but you're also very much like, you know, who the relevant players are in like electronic music and beyond. So I always find you to be this like case study rapper that's not quite like the other rappers, but you can still play ball with like the other rappers, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm just swimming. Just gotta keep swimming.
And the words of Finding Nemo, you gotta keep swimming. Cool. I have this last song. So this last song I'm gonna play is actually Howl. So Justin, this is your song. It's called Met You, and you put it out last year on your album 4. Should we say 4? 5. We'll talk about it. I love looking at the waveforms and like being like, ooh, something good's about to happen. Right. You can see it. I'm like, my Ableton's open. I'm like, something's going to happen. There we go. Just, are you more of a hardware guy or software? Or... I see a bunch of gear, but as I know, doesn't mean it's all getting used.
Yeah. No, like, yeah, if it's around, I'll use it a lot. But yeah, mainly just to record a whole bunch of different samples and stuff in. But yeah, like nowadays, like everyone is just laptop, Ableton.
Yeah.
That's all you really need these days.
Totally.
But, yeah, to travel around and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, it was
like, laptop is king.
who was it I was talking to? Do you know Zeke Beats? Zeke?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, I love him. So he's such a sweet, because he's also from Perth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
We used to DJ a lot together back in the day.
I can imagine that. I can. Yeah. He's quite the DJ. He's like one of the few people that's still like scratching.
Yeah. Insane scratching.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what was it like? I think his approach to things, he tends to like have audio, and I remember he tends to like be one to like cut audio, because everyone works kind of differently. And some people that tend to use hardware just to record in a bunch of samples, and at a later time go through those and pick them out, kind of more like sample libraries. It's like another approach too, which I've done in the past. I used to do that a lot when I was sampling more in like 2010, but obviously now it's a little hard to do that. I mean, not with gear, but when I was actually sampling, I would just go through records and sample like whatever, like short loops or things that I liked from like all these records that I had, and then I would just basically put them in folders, and as I would make a beat, I would pull them out and see if they would fit, and that's how I used to work. But I guess that's essentially what people do with sample libraries, except those are all like pre-warped and you get the pitch. Kids nowadays, y'all so spoiled. You didn't have to go and dig.
Right. Digging, man. Yeah.
Oh, man. It's kind of fun. Like, I want to go through like a sample revival, because you know you can't fake that sound. You know,
you can't.
Good sampled beat. But yeah, I want to say thanks to the both of you. That song was incredible. So if anyone wants to go and listen to that, it was released in 2019 on the album. Is it 4? Because it's in Roman numerals, but I want to make sure.
I was trying to remember. I'm pretty sure it's 4. It's like it's just a long EP that has to be called an album because of I don't know, whatever Spotify want to do. They're like, if it's more than track, they're like, that's an album. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Do you guys know, like, apparently if you've put albums out on Spotify, you can't make more than half of 4 of them a single? Because like sometimes I'm like, why don't we just make them all singles? and I was like, oh no, you can't do that. Apparently, Spotify's like, no. You only have to have a few.
Let me see what you're doing here.
I know. I want to work around that because I'm like, what if I want them all to be a single? Like, can I just like put them all out as individual singles and put them on an album that is basically made of all singles? Like, what are they gonna do to stop me?
Yeah.
Sorry. These are the weird things that just like, as I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, why?
Because then they get turned into a combined playlist. Isn't that what Drake did? I remember. He did something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, for the one after Views.
Yeah.
The one after that album. It was like a playlist, like 20 something.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one that had One Dance on it, right? And it had a bunch of songs that weren't. He wasn't even on some of them. There was some like UK, like who was on it?
Yeah.
There were some like grime artists on that one. I think I remember which one you're talking about. It's like super long and it's basically a playlist, and he wasn't even on all the songs.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Before I just go on any more tangents, I just want to say thanks to the both of you so much for hanging out with me, Justin Howes, Reo Cragun. I hope you guys had fun. I had a bunch of fun with you guys listening to your picks. And thanks to everyone who tuned in today, chimed in on the chat. We'll be here next Thursday. I think we have Thanksgiving off. So I just want to say thank you all. Next week we have Machine Drum and Jesse Boykins III for another episode right here of Lost Resort. So thank you all so much and bye.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.